大家皆さん晚上好啊，こんばんは。ちょっと待ってね。
And have confidence that the team will keep you safe.
让音量应该是 OK 啦。那如果太大太小声的话，再跟 Meko 说。好，总之呢，对，没错，今天要来玩这个 Not for Broadcast。嗨，这是我 Meko 第4次直播这款游戏了，然后应该也是最后一次了。嗨，没错，他在上个礼拜1月26号的时候有推出了，就是完成版，就是他的 Early Access 的先行那个测试已经结束了，代表说我们这次今天应该可以玩到它的大结局。嗨，那给就是大概 brief 一下这款游戏，好不好？这款游戏就是我们 Meko 扮演的是一位菜鸟导播，然后我们就是要透过就是切换镜头，然后消音啊，还有一些处理一些有的没的，然后可能选择就是播放的内容、播出的内容，对，就是这样。然后，对，然后就是会怎么讲呢？对，简单来说，我们就是要控制我们就是对控制这个叫什么大众传播的这种感觉。完了 ，Meko 脑袋不好，现在深夜有点脑袋胀胀的，有点思考没法思考啊，不管，总之就这样。对，那在这个游戏我们一开始玩的时候还蛮正常的，就是有些奇奇怪怪的人，然后当然会有什么政治人物啊什么的，就是想要就是偷打广告，然后也要就是有时候也要帮政府讲话啊什么的，巴拉巴拉巴拉。但是到了后面越来越奇怪，有什么奇奇怪怪的团体也出来了，什么奇怪的裸体，我记得什么裸体人士，然后还有什么就是超级诡异的那个运动大赛，就是你要用各种奇怪的方式，不要投进对方的杯子里，然后只要你投进了就输了，这超级诡异的比赛方式。还有奇奇怪怪的作者，奇奇怪怪的舞团，奇奇怪怪的马戏团，什么都很奇怪。对，然后到最后真的把我 Meko 最喜欢的那个什么主播，虽然我忘记他的名字了，他叫 Mike 吗？还是什么 ？Meko 有点忘了。对，毕竟上次玩已经是半年前的事了。哎，对，总之他在最后就是整个疯了，然后还就是举枪，然后想要威胁这个导播，威胁我们播放就是一些反政府的内容。对，然后关于我们本人，就是 Meko 他们这个经历300多天，我们目前亏损，没赚什么钱，然后付不起我妈的医药费的样子。对，总之呢，情况不管怎样都不乐观。但希望可以在最后的最后，就是扳回一城这样。哎，好，总之就这样，那我们就直接继续游戏吧。啊，对，就是这一位，第3号机的这一位，不知道他现在过得怎么样。哦
Alex, Bozeman, your boss. We're expecting deplorables from Disrupt to hack the signal tonight. Perhaps you could leave your personal beliefs at home and try not to let them ruin the broadcast. Even if you don't care for the government, I assume you understand you have a vested interest in us staying on the air. Stay out of the orange.
先进档必须要播啊！哦，等一下，哦，等一下，剩49秒。哦，等一下。哦哟，等一下。哦，等一下，我快忘记了。好，这个要播战争、沸腾之水、香气，尤其迷之，其他的广告都蛮正常的，那就随便放吧。啊，这个重要的放最后好了。 哦，然后这次更新它的那个字幕有分诶，哦，好贴心哦，分成2个字幕诶。对，而且还有左右声道诶，哇
10 seconds, everybody.
哦，10 seconds 了，而且还有这个，这是什么
5,
新东西？
4.
新界面。
Good evening. This is the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolf. It's the 140th day of war.
哦，战争
Our
对
main
哈。
headlines tonight. Company of Heroes. Skirmishes on land and sea again today as our armed forces tested the mettle of the World Council's illegal blockade. Advance's strategy of multiple small-scale incursions into the disputed zone is certainly
哦，
keeping
等
the
下
enemy
真的
on
太久
high
没
alert,
玩了。
unable to work out where or when the next strike will come. Proud parents throughout the territory find themselves ever more impressed by the bravery and commitment of their incredible
字幕嘞。
children and the job
Hello.
they're doing keeping supply lines open against all possible odds. Don't starve. Advance's
Don't
food
starve.
program moved from
先
strength
进
to
党
strength
啊，
today
是
as
我们
rationing
的目前的
depots
政
were
党。
opened in the last remaining unfed areas of the territory. The rationing depots have been constructed in record time.
应该还是要支持政府吧？我不知道，我已经忘记我前面怎么选了。现在就
And judging by the looks on
feeling
this
吧。
happy family's faces, it can't come a moment too soon. They'll be getting a good meal tonight on the government.
我们现在目前 Meko 走向就是
7
尽量
days
的
to
称
die.
赞
The
政
recent
府这样。
decision to allow those with long-term health conditions to access transition centres has today been declared an overwhelming success. Previously available only to those in their final years, the expansion of the service has been met with relief by the many organisations calling for it to be opened
哦，
up
外
to
面
the
好
wider
一
community.
片黑。
The transition centres have reported larger
看
than
看他们笑
expected
得多么
numbers,
开心。
but report that they are coping well and able to provide a complete and meaningful service to all who choose to use it. Populous. More than 11% of the population have thus far failed to register for a team membership card, a worrying statistic given that the cards are a legal requirement from midnight tonight.
哦，
It's
原
up
本
to
是
the other 89% of us to remind our tardy friends that not taking
原
advantage
本
of
说
all
是
the
要自由
exclusive services
审判，现
available
在
to
要变强
cardholders
制了，我的
is
天！
now, as it should be, absolutely criminal. Start me up. Disrupt spokesman Alan James held an impromptu rally today in the northern city of Mankipool. Large crowds gathered to hear the band speaker prove Disrupt are still able to capture the public's imagination.
啊，
Community cohesion officers found themselves challenged by the unruly mob element always present at Disrupt events, but thankfully managed to keep violent incidents to a minimum. And finally tonight, our mutual friend. Bail was denied in the High Court today for shamed former National Nightly News anchor Jeremy Donaldson.
哦
The
，Jeremy，
presenter will be transferred to new lodgings at Penton Ridge Prison, while the lengthy preparations
Jeremy!
for his trial,
No,
which is still 18
Jeremy!
months away, begin.
不，
Following his very public breakdown on this program 10 weeks ago, the once-loved presenter was disarmed and taken into custody by the community cohesion team.
字幕，
Let's
字幕
hope
君。
doctors can help the once great man. But first this evening, with the war about to enter its 21st
哦，
punishing
所以
week,
自从
and
上
people
次报
hurting
道
up
之
and
后，
down
又
the
过了20
country,
个星期，
I'll be grilling unpredictable
然后
Prime Minister
就
Peter Clement
一
in an
堆
exclusive
战，
interview
就
from
开
his
战争
home
就开
in
始了。
Lancashire. That's coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
哦，等一下，等一下，等，哦，等，对不起，对不起，我忘记了，我还在专心看那个老头在干嘛，我都忘记了啦，哎呦，都忘记这个有多难搞了。OK。
In part 2, I'm
That's it.
excited to announce I'll be interviewing the one and only Lil C. And
切错，抱歉，抱歉。
feature that's sure to keep you coming back for more. But first tonight, let's check in with Prime Minister Peter Clement, who's speaking to us from his home in
哦，我
Lancashire.
们国家的首
Good
相
evening, Prime Minister. Have we caught you exercising?
啊，
Oh, have we started? Yes,
好
that's
强哦，
right,
对
Miss
哈，
Wolf.
他就是一直
Just
狂
a
喝
few
酒，然后
minor
超强的那
requests,
一个。
nothing drastic. I haven't joined the gym or anything.
天啊，即使在战争，他还在喝，我的天啊！
Just because she won't take it up the shit, it doesn't mean you shouldn't try for a quick fiddle up the car park.
Language, Prime Minister.
What? Quick fiddle? What's wrong? Oh, shitter.
哎
It's
哎
shitter, isn't it? Yep, That's the one.
And can you tell us what brought about this new you?
Well, you know-
This new you?
Well, you
Today, I
know,
spoke
you know
to
the night the blockade began.
And when I
Sorry,
was-
Donaldson.
哦，有讯号切入了
Well,，you know,
什么？
and it were blistering
还可以这
hot,
样？
as I'm sure you all
有另外一个
remember.
讯号，
And our bit
哪
wheezy
里？
from all the cigars and all.
哇，
And Mrs. C turns to me after the signal dropped away, and she was in full
哇，等一下，
tears. And she
哇
said, "Please don't."
哇
She's dead.
哇，
Go on with
好
that.
麻烦
She's dead. So I made a decision.
哦
And since that day, I have stopped
哦，有点想要，其
smoking
实
cigars. Except for Christmas. My birthday.
也太麻烦了，哇，太麻烦了吧？
That's what I say. I got this useless running backwards doesn't go anywhere. And
完了，我们的首相真的是疯了啦！
holiday this Christmas, and that should finish me off for bloody good.
Did you make the decision to holiday within the country this winter?
对啊，
because
他
of
都
the
没有讲
blockade,
正事啊，他就在
Prime
讲他的废话。
Mrs. C is never like traveling at the best of times. These are
完了，
certainly
这
not
首
the
相真的
best of
腐败，
times.
我是不是应该要支持反政府才对啊？
And there's a lot of red tape involved in leaving the territory at the moment, as I'm sure you're all aware. Some of those forms are bastard long.
All in it together.
What? All in it together. Oh, yeah. Also, it doesn't seem very advanced to be going abroad when the rest of the country is grounded.
And yet, Julia Salisbury announced today that she'll be visiting Svenland during this year's winter break. Is that really an example of team spirit?
What? Did you know about this, Gail?
怎么了？又怎么了？又是
Peter, you should know that.
What did you know?
Well, leaving that for a moment, it says on this card that a body like yours must take some planning to achieve. What's your morning routine?
Well, I have a frigid morning routine.
Rigid. It's rigid for fuck's sake!
Oh, yeah. A rigid
哦，我的
and
天啊！
demanding plan that my doctor and personal trainer
Who's your personal trainer?
some prick called Clark. Is that
不要
on
再
your
骂
card?
脏话啦！
Prime Minister, speaking of planning, with the blockade in its 20th week and the people of this country
对啊
reeling from its
这个一直
effects,
鬼
what
打
plans
墙
do you
欸
have to get us out of this mess?
Well, that's a very blunt question, Miss
Surely
Wolf.
one for which you, the democratically elected Prime Minister, must have an answer.
Don't you get smart with me, Pat. I was a fucking national treasure before you were a twinkle in the milkman's scrotum.
哦，我的
You
天
wanna
啊！
talk about plans? Let me tell you
Cool.
about plans. That's all we do. Fucking plans and revised plans and then meetings to discuss
Okay.
the implementation
Oh,
of
天
plans
啊
and plans
这
and
个
yet
什么
more plans
烂
and
首
fucking
相
plans and yet more fucking
Well,
plans.
that's good. That's good to know. Prime
Do you
Minister.
know, I used to really like you, Pat. You were a breath of fresh air. But I've been watching you, and you know what? You get more like him every day.
I will take that as a compliment. Prime Minister, later on this evening, your co-leader Julia Salisbury is
天啊，
going
可
to
怜
give
的
a national
Jeremy
address from team headquarters. Can you give us a hint of what she's going to say?
Yes. Well, I imagine that there
Sorry,
will be
sorry, you
the
imagine?
usual. No, what I mean is.
You do know about this broadcast, don't you, Prime Minister?
Well, I'm sure I did. But Julia and I have no secrets from each other. We don't memorize each other's bloody diaries either. As my old mum used to say, if you wanted to get a job done quick, don't get bogged down in the pubes. What else you got?
Sorry?
Only cards. What else? A little piece of my life you want to rustle through? Get out. Refill my last. Ta. Ah, come on. Come on.
Okay. What music do you listen to when you work out?
哦，一些很正常的问题，很
Well,
鸡
Gail
毛
tells
盖
me that I work
鸡毛
out
蒜
so
皮的
we'll
事情。
see. But I have absolutely no fucking idea who that is. Do you think the C stands for?
It stands for collaborative, Prime Minister.
Yeah, actually, that does.
啊，天啊，我们首相怎么变成这副德性？
How's rationing affecting you?
It's hard, but we get by. You just have to learn to get by on the basics. Take comfort in each other. I've got Mrs. C and many a fine single malt. I want for nothing. Except for a decent Night's sleep, of course.
Prime Minister, thank you for joining us. When we come back, it's time for the Culture Spot with Lil C and a world premiere performance of her new song. I genuinely can't wait to hear that. We'll be back after this.
哦天啊！
Everybody,
少了 Jeremy 之后
is what happens when you wander from the car.
I don't think he knew about her statement.
I don't think anyone's supposed to know. When you mentioned it, Bozeman's face turned a colour that I think you call embolism.
Am I in trouble?
Bozeman? Nah, you're like the daughter he never had. Suppose the higher-ups might fire him, though.
Who's Lil C?
Or if there's any justice, me.
Who's Lil C?
Are you winding me up?
What? I'm civilized. I read books.
然后这个广告好像有点坑，我等一下晚一点再看吧。哦、what the fuck？ 等一下再看，我等一下再看。
You'll no doubt have spotted the updated mixing desk.
对啊，
You'll need the new buttons during the next
哦
sections.
新按钮，
Applause when the guest enters and before her song.
哦表演，哪里？
We get there.
哦，我们还有表演哦，这么赞吗？这是什么东西啊？这广告有点恐怖哎、我的天啊！哦，啊、天啊，已经开始想念 Jeremy 了。
I've never heard of her before.
Jeremy，
really big.
Really? She any good?
Nah, of course not. She dog shit. But kids go mad for her, absolutely mad.
Live in 10 seconds.
Hang on, Colin, you've got kids.
Yeah, I've got about 6 or 7, I think.
啊，人生胜利组，
5, 4, 3.
Thanks for coming back. Later, we have an exciting new feature
Oh,
that we just
新
know
节
you're going
目。
to love, so stay tuned for that. But first, I'm really excited for our next guest. She rose to prominence as the delightful Susie May in All My Daughter's Children's Men, before taking the music industry by storm this year with her debut album smashing the chart records at the age of just 20. Let's give it up and welcome Lil C!
The staff excellent.
哦，
May I just say, you look incredible.
Oh, thanks, babe. I'm doing this new regime and it really does work.
What's the regime?
And my manager suggested it to me. It basically involves bathing in like cabbage water and then having the leaves sucked out of you while you swim.
What
Wow,
the-
is that healthy?
Oh, well, look at me, Meg. The leaves are my only nourishment.
Yep, they
啊
certainly are.
果然不出所料。
I'm somewhat of a super fan, so I'm sorry if I get a bit starstruck.
Oh, bless you. I've never actually heard of you before, so if you do get a little tongue-tied,
哇，
I can
完了，
always
最
carry
不会
the
读空气的
interview.
那一
Oh,
种。
that's good to know. So your first album, F My Face Together, it hit shelves this summer and it just exploded.
哦，这个
I
中
mean,
文
what's
翻
that
的蛮
like
到
for
地
you?
的。
Bonkers, just so weird. I was in all the papers and the magazines. Overnight, I went from that like annoying little girl from that show to that like sexy little girl from that show.
Wow, that must have been bizarre.
怎么感觉
Oh,
他
it
超
was
级
just
大
like
头
any
症
other
啊？
morning. You know, get up at 5, go
Oh.
on a 4-mile run, have 3 meetings.
Wow,
with my
忘记切
cabbage
镜头了，
box,
你
then
很
then was my dad actually talking to me.
Oh, of course. I mean, the famed country singer, Billy Bob Jean Short. I didn't know you'd been estranged.
There's nothing that strange about it, Megan. Okay, yes, he may believe that aliens told him to hate women, but there really isn't anything to prove that he's wrong.
Uh-huh. So, this newfound explosion into your popularity, I
加油
mean,
啊
did！that change your life?
加油加油！
Well,
帮主播加油！
start wearing like nice underwear, you know, for the paparazzi. But as my manager says, best to make the most of it before I'm 30.
你3号机怎么一直在拍别人腹肌啊
So,
？3号机在干
what's the
嘛？
album about?
So I thought it was about like how pretty and great I am, but actually it's about monetizing youth, I think, or about like promoting an unrealistic standard of beauty or something.
Your manager again.
Yeah, he says insecurity is an opportunity.
Oh,
What the
I
fuck？
think he'd be happy with you telling us all this.
Telling you all what? It really doesn't matter what I say here. I'll do my dancing and then this part will all be forgotten about.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, we're going to see some of those famous dance moves very shortly because you're going to be performing your new single, aren't you?
Yep, it's from my album Put It In My 80s.
又有讯号输入。
Tomorrow.
我想看跳舞啦！
So soon,
啊
after the last one.
Oh yeah, I've actually released 2 albums since lunchtime and a clothing line during this interview. See, this is
Oh.
called Cry for Help, And it's
Ah!
for the best
Ah!
retailer shops.
Ah!
And it's out now. So girlies, you know what to do. Scream and cry until somebody gets it for you.
Ooh, there she goes. Blimey. All these projects, they're keeping you very busy, aren't they? It must be tough.
Yeah, it can get tough, and I hate it sometimes, and I hate myself.
Ah,
I'm gonna like
ah, ah,
grind to a
ah.
bath of root veg. But then I think
Ah.
thousands of girls
Ah.
do anything to be me. It must be quite.
啊！ちょっと待って！
You know you don't have to do this, though, don't you?
怎么变这么难？我怎么没有印象中他这么难的
You know,
说
my fourth vodka and the eighth time a stranger slaps me around the arse. I think things could have been different. You know, like better.
啊？
I love doing autographs and having somebody.
哇，我的收视率！
to wear.
哇
Do，you always want to do music?
我的收视
Well,
率
as a
啊！
little girl I did, I'd sit in front of the radio, and as soon as my favourite girl group would come on, I'd press record on my cassette. But then my dad would come in and tell me to turn it off and to go back
不会是
upstairs and start practicing again.
Sorry, is your dad your manager?
Yeah, which can be tough. And sometimes when it gets really hard, he'll say, "Make Quagler proud, and you might just survive childbirth."
Well, you know what, despite anything, you'll make me proud.
Oh, if only your opinion was as valuable as his.
And on that problematic note, you're going to be
好
singing
好
your
呛
song
哦！我的
soon.
天哪！
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
So it's called These Babies Gonna Bring You Home, and I actually got sent the lyrics in the car on the way up here. But you know what? It's actually alright. And don't worry, all my work is team approved.
All right then.
啊
Well, you can go
不
and
小
get
心
ready
切
for
到他
that. We'll
尴
see
尬
in
的
a
眼
little
神。
bit. It
What?
was a very specific type of pleasure to chat to her.
哇，等一下，这镜头
Hear this. Whoa.
你切太快。
Here is Lil C with an exclusive first performance of her new track, These Babies Gonna Bring You Home. Take it away.
His favorite, the queen of teams.
再拿一个几号机头？
Blockades.
哦，3号机
C.
WC。哦。
Oh baby, can't you see I'm hungry? There's a place in me
啊！
that's empty. I want that meat you're packing. Only you can fill that crack in me. I'm under siege, so come and
哇，我好不会按了。
Ain't no disruption here, boy. I got no agenda. Just want the team and me. No dirty foreign member. Don't stop the morning drill. There's holes in me that ain't been filled yet. I only scream this loud when you do your
Ah.
proud. I ain't no Vickers, but I come and skirmish on my border. Quick before I get much older, tie me down and pour me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier.
哇，抓不到他的那个感觉啊！
Try and break our dream, we fight and love and die at sea. So what a Peter Clemens boys can come and use me as a toy. I wanna see some action, so come and break my sanctions. I've been this wild and free since Mama burdened me. She was only 53, but gave to save her family. There's no one judging me if I'm the one that's in your fantasy. Don't die alone, these babies gonna bring you home. I ain't no Vickers, but I come and skirmish on my border. Quick before I get much older, tie me down and pour me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier. So what if Peter Clemens boys can come and use me as a toy and flip me over, grab my hair, rip off my clothes and dump them there. I wanna see some action. So
吓死我了！我刚还以为他没穿，哦，吓死我了！我刚刚以为他下面，他里面他全脱了，吓死我了！而且这个动作，等一下，等一下，怎么好像有点 等一下，这个会不会不太雅观了 ？What the fuck？ 等一下，不会被 ban 吧？
Well, if that doesn't distract you from the world outside, I don't know what will. I'd like to thank Lil C for doing that. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll finally be revealing the new segment of our show that we just know you're going to love. We'll be back right after this.
And we're out.
天哪！哇塞！
Can I just say, thank you so much for letting me do this. It really means a lot to me, you know.
Yeah.
To be able to promote myself on such a mainstream platform like the news.
Well, don't worry about it. And you know what? Good luck for the future. Take care of yourself. This industry can be crazy sometimes. Watch out for that father of yours, won't you?
Oh, no. I manage myself. It's just, you know, for the public to have that certain perspective on me. You know what it's like.
Oh, right.
And Michael? Michael?
What about Billy Bob Jean Short? Is he?
Oh, my dad. He's such a sweetheart. We both had the same agents, you know, like it just made sense. Both of us for our image together.
Wow.
And Michael, I want to see the revenue share for the clothing line and get me a G&T before my meeting with the lube guys. If they say for your pleasure, I'm going to stop needing it.
好强，真的好强哦！我天哪！
This next section will need you to use all 4 of the sound effects to help things along.
Huh?
Try and pick the most appropriate one at each given moment. The actors can't hear what you're doing, so they'll be trusting you to make the right choices.
12, as it said in your rider.
我还要帮他们选择。
Who counts things? No, not anymore. I'm better than.
完了，又来一个麻烦人物。
Just keep adding flowers until it feels like 12. Got it?
Absolutely, right away. 10 seconds.
哦，辛苦你了，梅林。
5,
是吧？
4, 3.
Thanks for joining us for part 3. We've been teasing you about our new feature all night, and now the wait is finally over. I can reveal that every night on the show, we'll be treated to an episode of an informative and hilarious new segment called The Notice Board. It stars some top talent, and we're very excited about it. But before we see it, let's have a quick chat with the writer, director, and phenomenon, may I say, Jeff Algebra, guys.
Actually, I've dropped the algebra. I go by Jeff DePoon now. How'd you like that?
Well, yeah, very fancy. I suppose you need a new name now that you're a successful artiste.
Well, exactly. I'm earning enough to pay taxes now.
Oh.
It's shit.
And how does Angela feel about all this?
Who?
Your wife.
Oh, God, no.
哈，她的眉毛细好多啊。
No, she's long gone. No, she was holding me back. I'm with Norm now. We were married last month.
Norm the Plume.
Yeah.
And why did you write this? What was your inspiration?
Oh, well, I received a telephone call offering me 25 grand to write a pro-team sitcom. And I heard my father's voice. It said, Jeff, you listen here, boy. You make hay while the sun shines. You wring every penny you can get out of this.
Hey, what's...
So I wheeled him down to the position centre, got out my typewriter and started clacking. Wow. Utter shite.
And without further ado, let's give it up for the notice board.
You have to play a sound effect.
我按啦！他怎么不给我按？
Yes, now you're getting it. Keep going.
啊，要这么早按是吗？还是怎样？
Good morning, Miss Craven.
Oh, morning, Ray.
Everything all right, Mrs. Craven? You look as worried as the vicar in closing time.
Oh, Ray.
天哪，还要放罐头音效！天哪，太麻烦了吧！哇塞，太忙了吧！
No!
Yes! They've written
哇
all，
我忘记放音效了。
language and crude.
啊，太忙。
I know it's those damn youths.
I don't know. It could be the vicar at closing time.
Oh
We're just worried they won't ever become productive members of the community. What if they never see the error of their ways and end up as social outcasts, such as shoplifters or bong rats?
Don't worry, Mrs. Craven. This is a very supportive community, and I'm sure that in time they will fit into this society like this key into this lock. See? Works like a charm.
啊！太暗了，太
It's a lovely way to put it, Ray. And
Ah,
just like that, we can unlock their future.
Yes, yes. Wow. Look at all the letters in my collection today.
Oh, I think that one's addressed to me.
What? This one? Oh, so you're right.
哇，天哪，好尴尬哦！
Here it is.
It's a letter from my granddaughter, Brenda. She says she got an A on her maths exam.
为什么是拿照片？
Friends has been helping her. She was always a team player, was our Brenda.
哇，这边应该放大
Losers!
哦。啊，错过一下啊！
Oh, no. It's Brad. He's the coolest guy in the village.
That's right. I just got here on my motorbike.
Oh, clear off, Brad. We don't want any of your.
哎呦，我反应不够快啦。
What? Rad dudes?
No, ruffians. Have you come to tag the notice board with your gang sign?
哦，我现在注意到
I've actually come.
这个，他会跟你讲说哪一个最适合点的是哪一个。
Tutoring after school.
What did you say? Tutoring?
That's right. Maths is very important.
我已经来不及吐槽了。
Not at all.
哦，他这边会提示啦，我不用自己再去分辨了，这样是件好事，可以。
So you, a young person, have been spending your time helping others and not just urinating on churches or huffing glue?
Hey, I haven't huffed glue for months.
Well, blow me down!
You know what? We misjudged you based on how young and cool you are and not on your actions.
啊，
No joy.
So it wasn't you who vandalized my shop last night or called me a rancid old crow from the back of the chopper?
No way. It can't have been me. I was too busy helping my friend Brenda with her maths homework.
Oh.
For a minute there that you said Brenda.
I did, you daft old sow.
Did you
啊，
hear
来不及。
that, Ray?
Oh, yes. What
好辛苦啊，邮差也太忙了
I
吧？
now respect you as a man.
Put her there, Ray. Oh, what the heck?
哦
Give her a
哦
hug.
哦哦，怎么了？哦，怎么了？啊！哦 ，what？ 啊！
Sorry to interrupt the first
Ah.
groundbreaking episode of the notice board, but we are receiving some breaking news.
怎么了？
I'm being told we are picking up report.
等一下，等我一下。哦，也太突然了吧？哦，好，没事，继续，我们继续。
From across the continent of what appear to be
怎么了？
God,
地震吗？
what appear to be nuclear explosions in
Ah,
four
what?
major foreign cities. Initial estimates put the death toll into.
核爆炸
They put them into millions.
哦天啊
I'm being told we're experiencing some power shortages as a result, so apologies for the interruption.
嗯
And apparently we can go live now to team headquarters for an emergency broadcast from Prime Minister Julia Salisbury any moment. Yes, let's go to that now.
Good evening, citizens and leaders of the world.
哦天啊
Minutes ago, operatives working for
完了
advanced
世界末日啊
nuclear explosives simultaneously in 4 major cities across the continent. We have similar devices in 58 other urban centres and will not hesitate to detonate them if our conditions are not met and without delay.
啊啊
The people of our territory will no longer tolerate your illegal and genocidal blockade. You are to remove it immediately. We will accept nothing less than your unconditional surrender. Your territories will be taken under our control. We will install replacement
Wow, say.
governments to ensure that your citizens become part of the new
哇塞
future. Your borders are now our
哇你的东西就是我的东西耶
Your people are our people.
哇塞
Finally be fed and clothed and educated and healed.
哇塞整个超级大独裁耶
For your privileged few, the moment that they feared is now upon them. Allow me to be crystal clear. If you fire a single shot at our territory or harm a single one of our
哎
citizens,
不是哎
we will not hesitate to detonate further devices.
不是哎你这样不是反效果吗
You
不是
will not find them, though no doubt you are already searching for them. Our technology is decades ahead of yours. We will expect your complete acceptance of our terms by midnight tonight. Thank you.
哦天啊这个政府变成恐怖分子大概就是这种感觉吧
I don't really talk about my personal life in my job. It's not relevant or important. So many of you may be surprised to learn that I have a brother. His name is David. And right now I can't get his stupid face out of my head.
Oh.
He's a researcher and he's currently travelling the continent for work. And I don't know where he is right now.
哦天啊
And I should imagine that there are many of you sitting at home tonight digesting this news, and you also have loved ones on the continent. In Urkistan, or Havia, or San Palmerino, or Konislava, which is where David was when I last spoke to him 3 days ago. So when I tell you I know how you are feeling tonight, believe me, I do. But I also know that there's a flow to events. I see it every day here. I know that although tonight it feels like we may be in a time of fear and darkness, we may actually be at the break of a new dawn. We don't know that yet. We can't know that yet, but together we will find out. And I will be here every night, feeling what you are feeling. And with your help, maybe we can all get to that brave new world. My name's Megan Wolf.
Megan
Let's make tomorrow better.
And we're out.
哦天啊
We've got people ringing round, but the telephone networks are overloaded. Okay. We'll find him.
Do we know exactly which cities were hit, or
Megan. We will find him.
哦我的天啊不是吧哦啊好烂啊 EDC Let's make tomorrow better 哦他这次还会给我评语哎所有冒犯性的话语都经过消音处理可以这个是 Meko 唯一有办到的整场节目没有受到任何干扰哎真的 我还想是不是药物干扰会比较好啊？剪辑水平奇差无比，笑死！有一段广告放得太晚了，哎呦！成功阻止打断组织的侵入，好哦。有了，我有钱了，但现在还是穷光蛋。这是指不同阵营给我的钱吗？然后这个是代表说各个阵营对我的支持度吧。这个是先进党，这个是反政府的吧，然后这个是电视台，应该是这样啊。我看一下。我有点想要看一下。
So, Julia's team have asked me to ask you to keep it light.
What does that mean?
It means do that thing you do where you turn politicians into humans. Just don't get drawn into talking about the war or politics in general, really.
They do know this is the news, don't they?
You didn't hear this from me, but...
Oh.
Apparently, there's a crew at Team HQ right now. I think she's giving a speech or something tonight. They'll get it on the late news.
Oh, great. So they get the brains and we get the performing monkey.
Sometimes you sound just like him, you know?
How are you?
啊，天啊！我们的 Jeremy 走了，真的是超级难过哎。
It is what it is. I miss him too, you know.
10 seconds, everybody.
Rumpled old sod.
Don't. Going in 5, 4, 3.
怎么不能播？他怎么不给我播 ？Hello？ 哦，我还要这样点是不是？这样。哦，这次有多了这个进度条，这样我就不会就是分辨不出来他有没有播了。
With the war about to enter its 20th. That's coming up on tonight's news.
Why is it so hard to turn fucking way out? Girl! I think these bikes brakes are fucked.
There's nothing wrong with the fucking bike.
Speak up, my dear old ears can't hear you.
I said there's nothing wrong with the bike.
Well, could you get someone to
他
look
这
at
是不是
it,
完全
please,
傀儡
before
啊？
I look like a complete prick on the national nightly news?
There's no time. You're live in 30 seconds. Put your earpiece in for fuck's sake.
Christ, it's like lose bloody thing. It's like losing my virginity all over again.
哇
Right.
哇塞哇塞哇塞！
That's it.
Excited
How
to
long have we
announce
got?
I'll be
10
interviewing the
seconds.
one
What?
and only Lil C.
Peddling
And later
Peter.
we've got a new.
Oh, right.
And looking surprised in 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, Prime Minister. Exercising.
Oh, have we started? Yes, that's right, Miss Wolf. Just
哇
a
塞
few minor，
真不
adjustments,
愧
nothing
是
drastic. haven't
真不
joined
愧
the
是我们
gym
首相，
or
演技
anything.
真好。他
As
唯
my
一
old
可
man
取
used
之处
to
就是
say, just be
他可能唯一擅长的就是他的演技吧。然后，对啊，我觉得他完全就是个笨蛋，真的就只是被另外一个那个女生，我忘记她
Blockade, Prime Minister.
那个谁，我真的记名字记好差哦。就是另外一个首相当做政治傀儡来使用，这样。
Is that really an example of team spirit?
What?
Land during this year's winter break.
No.
Well, leaving that for.
对啊，他什么都不知道哎，这个首相什么都不知道。天啊，我还竟然就是让他就是支持这个政党支持到最后。
Implementation.
还在那 flirting， 我的天哪！
Well,
You know about. Prime Minister, later on this evening, your co-leader Julius
对，他是联合领导人吧，所以算是双首相制的那种
Salisbury is going to give a national
体制，
address
对
from
吧？
team headquarters.
好。
Can you give us about this broadcast, don't you, Prime Minister?
Well, I'm absolutely. Except for a dick. Get on that phone now, right now, to that. Find out what that Jew.
Thank you for joining us. When we come back,
And we're
it's
out.
time for the culture
Well,
spot,
that was
as
a
you'll see.
fucking ambush. Get on that phone now, right now, to that. Find out what that duplicitous bitch is up to, and get me a bottle of something stronger. This fucking government stuff is complete fucking bog water.
真的。
Supposed to know, when you mentioned it, Bozeman's face turned a colour that I think you call embolism.
Am I in trouble?
Bozeman? Nah.
啊，RC 跳舞 RC。我们来看看刚刚那段 RC 热舞好了。啊，其实 RC 的好像也不用看嘞。我想一下哦。后面其实都还好，算了，我觉得我们为了要节省时间，我们就直接继续了。赶快看一下，赶快拼进度 ，Go Go！ 哇，天啊，这些人都我记得我都没看过哎，还有这么多人哦！啊，天数，哦，哇，左上角多了一个那个现有财富哎！天哪，我好穷哦！天数371对等回应，不知不觉轮班即将结束，期间脑海里一直重复着一句话：先进党手下的特工引爆了核弹，初步预计死亡人数逾100万。这是真的吗？你驶入了自家车道。哦，就他妈的呢！哇！啊，抱歉，突然吓死我了哦 ，Game crash 了哇天啊，吓死我，真的吓到我了！天啊，为什么 Meko 最近一直那个啊，玩游戏一直那个啊，闪退啊，我是不是要清理一下电脑之类的？啊，不予播出啊，中文翻的真是简洁有力。
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy.
哦，真的火箭鬼了！你的游戏上次好像异常关闭了，真的啊，还以为是特别的部分，但实际上真的是那个闪退哦，恐怖，吓死了！我，哎呀，显卡不给力啊！不用看了，负责管小提示的哥们今天放假去了，笑死！好，来，希望不要再闪退了，拜托。你驶入，不要！喂！啊！哎，不是吧？怎么会？抱歉，我可能要设定一下了。看来是那边的那个3D 演算太哈扣了 ，Meko 的显卡负荷不了。
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Jones. Our main headlines.
画面。
What a wild ride this has been. Well, that's a very blunt question.
Advance is lying to you. Friends and neighbours, and have confidence that the team will keep you safe.
哦，等一下，
Now you start to see it, the people never
哇
it's never enough.
啊啊！真的是 not for broadcast 真的是没办法播出了，到底发生什么事啦？怎么会这样？等一下，哎，不是吧？哎哎哎！哎哎哎哎哎哎哎哎哎！
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
Starting!
哇，等一下，我一到这个页面就宕机了，等一下，哇，等一下，完了，完全一个超级放松事故。等一下哦，
Well, that's a very blunt question.
啊，不会吧？我们不会要在这边？不是吧？哎，给力一点啊，兄弟！啊，这首歌还蛮好听的。
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
开启，好，开启了。我可能要把，不是啊，他不给我调画质
What a wild ride this has been.
啊，完了，我不应该乱关闭什么同步、垂直同步的，不懂，然后还直接关掉它，我的天啊，完了，我们。 中了黄金镇魂曲了，黄金体验镇魂曲了，一直不停的轮回啊！究竟我们还要听到这个旋律多少次呢
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
看必确定。先这样。 好，然后我要调低画质。这样，我们画质先调低一点点。然后环境光遮蔽确认啊，阴影高就好了哈。好，继续。然后希望这样的话，我们的电脑可以负荷得了。现在我们切低画质720p。 希望拜托，至少让我看完对话，我们看完对话再把画质给调回来，应该就没问题了。OK， 真的吗？究竟我们可以过得了这个转弯口吗？好像没问题哦。可以了，没事了。 你驶入最佳车道，完全不记得自己是怎么把车开回来的。客厅灯开着，显然有人还没睡。伴随着一阵嘎吱声，你开门走进客厅，发现萨姆正坐在沙发上，眼睛盯着电视。电视并没有关，显然萨姆正出神地想事情。你在萨姆旁边坐下，手搭上 肩膀以示安慰。萨姆没有，又给我不啦！不管，我要先念完这一段。萨姆没有扭头看你，却用双手紧紧握住你的手。你靠近后，更清楚地看到萨姆的脸庞，那是一副你从未见过的神情。克里斯和舒西他们都，我懂，该怎么办？我也不知道。总之，先不要再闪退了，好吗？ 哎，不是啊，这游戏怎么这样？哎 ，what？ 哎，不是吧？奇怪，之前玩都不会的啊。
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
啊，拜托，让我们读完这个对话吧。后面应该还有1到2次广播吧，还有2次 podcast 要 broadcast 要播放。我们他妈的怎么样？这群混蛋杀了克里斯和舒淇，而且还还杀了我家电脑，又给我宕机，还杀了无数其他人，全都因为这场该死的战争。这完全不是我们想要的。萨姆的眼中没有泪水，只有怒火，一种无法抑制的怒火。我恨他们，阿列克斯。我知道你一直是先进党的拥护者，哎，这好像是因为我们前期的选择而变成这样。但这件事发生后，他们真他妈是群兽！我希望你明白，我们再也不会帮这帮混蛋做事了。先进党做了必须做的事，为了保护我们所有人，他们什么都愿意做。我感到欣慰。支持派的言论，我觉得没这么简单。国家正遭受苦难，这场战争必须结束。中立派，他们的所作所为无论如何都站不住脚。凡是试图这样做的人，也跟他们一样坏，这个就反对派吧。哎 ，gosh， 我们又再听一次那个吉他和弦了，来吧。哇，我刚刚还本来想说，我想要推荐这款游戏给其他人的。结果竟然给我一直这样，给我一直闪退 ，What the hell？
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
我们要晚一点再，看看要晚一点再去 Discord 再帮忙回报一下这个 bug 好了。怎么会这样？之前都没事的啊，还是真的是我电脑真的记忆体容量不够？应该也不像是吧？哇，完全不知道，我干奶。所以我们就先 Meko 决定选中立的那个问题，这边就尽量快速跳过到不要有出现 bug。哇，可恶啊，来不及，手速不够快。我好奇，就是偷偷看一下工作管理员好了。是蛮吃 CPU 的但是有吃到这么重吗？啊，天啊！不行这样真的玩不下去就等妈点呢，Meko看一下。
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight. But first, the votes are in and it's just...
让我偷看一下有没有就是关于这次评论的怎么办？我看一下我有什么可以关的。我的显卡有一瞬间飙到最高，那应该就是我显卡不足的问题。可是我能怎么办？我还有什么可以关的吗 ？Meko 没有什么可以关的天哪！不然可能就是后面那一段我还是就是用记录档，我用影片的方式上传好了。可能就是因为我没办法边开直播边直播这款游戏，对。嗨，所以非常唐突，所以我们游戏先到这边，后半段 Meko 就自己在 就是录影然后再上传。好啦，先这样，抱歉啦，先非常唐突的结尾。那么我们下次再见啦，拜拜。